Hello, Neil here from Nitro Music. It's been a long time since I've done a video, so here goes nothing. So I just wanted to talk to you guys about wedding shows. Something that you can maybe do beforehand as well as during the show to make sure that you get the most out of the show. So before the show, it's always important to create a wedding email account. That way your email isn't potentially going to get spammed afterwards with all these emails that you don't care about, and you can really organize your wedding with that email account. I would suggest using this account with any vendors you talk to in the future. It doesn't have to be with just a show. It could really be with anyone that deals with the wedding. You can even use this account as RSVPs for your wedding guests. Another thing that's important to do is pre-register for the show. Some shows have a cost associated with it, whether it's $5, $10, $20, who knows. But if you pre-register, a lot of the times that cost is waived and the show becomes free. It'll save you a lot of money if you go to a lot of shows. If you're able to, I would also suggest researching any vendors that you're interested in that are already going to be at that show, so you get a sense of who they are, what they do, if you like them, if you don't. Take a look at some of their photos, and you can create some really great questions for them while you get that time to meet with them at the show. So you've done everything, you've researched your vendors, you've created an email address, you've pre-registered, and now you're at the show. You're waiting in line and you're ready to go. What do I suggest? Have a game plan. Know who you want to see, where they are, try to find a map of where they are and get to them. There's going to be a lot of people there, and you don't want to waste any time waiting in those lines, waiting to speak to those people. Sometimes the vendors, it's only them there. They don't have a team there with 5 or 6 different people to be able to talk to. So it's important too to bring a planner or a calendar, whether it's in your phone or a physical planner with you. That way, when you see a vendor or talk to a vendor that you really like, you can schedule a time right there on the spot with them to sit down a little bit later and get into a more in-depth conversation about your wedding. Why not bring a friend? Bring someone with you who could listen when you're asking those questions to see, if maybe they hear something that you didn't quite hear. Maybe they have some questions that they want to ask as well. It's always good to get a second set of eyes and ears in these conversations, as they can happen very, very quick, and you don't want to miss out on any information that could be important later on. Also, with bringing your friend, they usually can enter into the draws that are at the tables or the door prizes, which could only increase your chances of winning that honeymoon. Bring a pen. Not only is it important, for those passport systems where you go around to all the different tables and sign, it's also good to put down a star or information that the vendor told you on the back of a business card. So it reminds you later when you're going through all the different papers that you've collected on who to call and who you really liked. Probably the most important rule, be comfortable. You don't need to be dressed up for this thing. You don't need to be in high heels all day. Be comfy. Wear comfy shoes. Wear sweats if you really want to. Us as vendors, we don't care. You want to be comfortable walking through the crowds. You want to be comfortable standing for a couple of hours that day. So make sure that you are wearing something that you are very comfortable in. When you're talking to the vendors, don't be afraid to ask, are you available? Are you available on June 11th or whenever your date is, to get right to the point? If they're not available, move on and then you're done. There's nothing worse than talking to a vendor and really loving what they're talking about and what they have to say and who they are and what they do, only to find out at the very end that they're not available for your date and you have to move on to someone else. Another good tip, if you don't need a dress, or your bridesmaids don't need dresses, or your groomsmen don't need suits, skip the fashion show. Use that time, that half an hour, 45 minutes, or an hour, use it to talk to the vendors. A lot of people go to the fashion shows and the vendors are less busy. Use this time to really get into in-depth conversations with them to figure out who they are and who you like. And last but not least, enjoy yourself. These things are fun. Make a day out of it. Go around, have a lot of fun, speak to anyone you need to, anyone you want to. If you don't need to talk to someone, but you like what they have at their table, go over and see what they're all about. Maybe they'll give you an idea of what you could do at your wedding. If you already have a DJ, let's say, even speak to the DJ still to see what they're offering. And go back to your original DJ that you've already hired and see if they could offer something similar because you really, really liked that. Well, I hope you guys got something out of this, and I hope you take all these tips to the next wedding show you go to. Until next time, guys, take it easy.